Hi everyone, Laura Newman with Laura's Lakeshore Stampin' Studio. Back again tonight to do another card tutorial. This one's going to be a really fun card tonight. It's going to be a Slimline card. So we're going to use the Snow Wonder Snowman and the Snow Time dies. So this comes as a bundle, $49.50. It is on the retiring list. This is going to retire January 4th. So there's a little under a month left to pick it up if you haven't gotten it and you like it. But you get a cute snowman, some trees, sending you blessings, peace, and magic this Christmas season. Happy Christmas, Christmas wishes, and joyful greetings. So I'm also using the Snowflake Splendor paper. That is 12-inch cardstock. This, I think, is 10 or 20% off. This is retiring by January 4th also. So do go to my website, www.lauranewman.stampinup.net, and take a look around and see if there's anything you want to pick up. So let's go ahead and get started on the card. So I cut my piece of Snowflake Splendor cardstock to 8 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches wide. The card base itself, I cut to 9 inches. So that's going to be our long side. And then this way it's 8.5 inches wide. So I just basically left the side piece alone and cut off 2 inches up here. And then I scored it 4 inches. Our card will wind up being 4 inches. And then again, a 1/2 inch on the right side. That's going to make a little pocket to hold money or a card. Let me show you my first sample I created. This one I added our Frost White Shimmer paint to, and I'm not going to do that on tonight's card, but I added it all around the edges and then on the trees. Can you see that glimmer in there? So it's a nice touch to add. And then I painted all the snow. I did not put any on the snowman, just the trees, the snow, and then the border around the card. But when you open it up, got a nice little 1/2 inch pocket here. This one's going to hold a $20 bill. So if you're here watching tonight, make sure you comment below. Say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. We had beautiful weather here today. It was almost 50 degrees. Let me know how the weather is in your part of the country. So you could even fit a picture in here if you just wanted to send a photo. And then you fold it up. So great for sending holiday photos to people also. Of course, the card that I send you when you're commenting won't have any money in it, unfortunately. But I'm going to make 3 of them for my oldest grandchildren. So I've already gotten the scoring done on this card. Let's go ahead and fold it. Want to make sure it's lined up evenly. And here's my bone folder. Again, this piece was 9 inches by 8.5 inches. Want to get that folded really well. And then I'm just going to come in on this side and fold that. And we'll go ahead and score really, really good on this one. Yeah, I really like the Frost White Shimmer paint that Stampin' Up sells. Adds a nice touch. So, okay, now we've got that. I'm going to set it aside. We want to work with our card base. So we are going to need 3 pieces of Whisper White cardstock and then another scrap piece that you're going to stamp your snowman on. I've already gone ahead and colored them with my Stampin' blends. I used a lot of blues. I think the light Highland Heather, the light and dark balmy blues. The hat is done in dark night of navy. Added a little red and green. and just took my dark crumb cake and colored his arms then. And I took the balmy blue and sort of went over the shadow marks that stamped out. So pretty easy to color. Now our 3 pieces of Whisper White cardstock. The first one is going to be 4 1/4 inches tall by 3 3/4 inches tall. Your second piece is going to be this one, and this is 3 3/4 inches square, so 3 3/4 and 3 3/4. And our last piece is going to be 3 1/2 inches tall by 3 3/4 inches wide. So we're going to start first by stamping our trees on the 2 smaller pieces. I made little cheat notes for myself so I remember which side to stamp on easily. So, and you can go ahead and do that on yours too if you want. So I'm doing my trees in Pretty Peacock. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on my smallest piece on the left side. And I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the top. And there we go. I just love the Pretty Peacock. It goes so well with the Snowflake Splendor papers. And then we'll get some more ink. And on our middle-sized piece of Whisper White, we're going to stamp on the right this time. And there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So let me move my ink pad before I get my fingers in it. So now we're going to have a little fun with the torn paper technique. I'm going to let these dry for a minute. It doesn't take too long for the ink to dry, but I want to make sure I don't smudge anything. So we're going to take our largest piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I am going to start about 3/4 of an inch. If I put it on the grid lines, I want to start right about here. So I'm just going to mark 3/4 of an inch, and I want to tear it at an angle kind of, and I want to go down to 1 3/4 inches. So I'm just putting some little marks to guide me in that. And when you tear, you want the rough edge to be on the bottom piece. Like so. And I'm just going to angle down gently with every little pull. And I'm coming down close to the other mark on the other side. So there we go. And if anything is left, like you can see my little pencil mark, I'm just going to go and erase that. And there we go. Now my back side looks like so, and we're going to use that piece too. Okay, let's come back to these, and we're also going to tear these. I mean, if you wanted to, you could use scissors and cut, but I really like that soft edge when you do the torn paper technique on it. Making sure, yep, okay, the ink is dried. It's dye ink, it absorbs fairly quickly. So I'm just going to come in along the edge of the tree and tear away. Then we'll come around and tear down this side also. I want to get close to the tree, but not enough to take the stamped image off. So I'm going to pull this over here, and then we're going to come down this side of the tree again. This just produces a really soft, beautiful edge. And then I'm going to make a little hill over here, sloping down just a little bit. So we're going to do, and now it doesn't matter that I made my little crib note because we're not going to use that part of it anyway. I can save it and stamp a small image on the back side. These little ones I'm just going to throw right in my trash can and try and be a neat stamper tonight. So now here again, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to start on the reverse side. For me, it's just easier. I like to do the pulling with my right hand because I'm right-handed. So I'm going to start a little bit below the tree line and kind of angle up towards the tree. And then we're going to come up and around the tree edge. Yep, if you're watching tonight, comment and say hello. But yeah, this card will make a great money holder. And I mean, it's minimal stamping, a little bit of coloring on your snowman, and goes together pretty quickly. And I love the snowflake background for it. And again, the bundle, the stamp set and dies as a bundle are $49.50, and they're, I believe those are the same price on the site, but they are retiring in January, and this card stock is discounted either 10 or 20% again. It's called Snowflake Splendor, so you can, if you're interested in checking out what's, some of the stuff is discounted by 50%. I know I showed some of the card stock over the weekend. So, yeah, it's www.lauranewman.stampinup.net if you want to go take a peek on the website. Okay, and then I do have a host code for that too. I will post in the comments after the video what my host code is. So, now I've got all my pieces torn, and we're going to start assembling them. So we want to take the trees on the right first. And I don't remember how far down I put it. What I did, let's see, let's get centered on camera here, was I took my stamp. I'm going to use Christmas Wishes and Joyful Greetings. Actually, let me just stamp that first. It'll really help with the placement a lot. I'm going to get out my Stamparatus. And because this is longer than my base, I'm going to be stamping this upside down. Whoops. So we're going to put that there and that there. So there, now it's right side up. I've got it right up along the edge. I want to make sure I get a fairly straight placement. So what I like to do, there's little grid lines here. It might be hard to see on camera, but I'm just looking to make sure my greeting is my sentiment. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be fairly straight. I'm just going to move that up a little bit there. And that, well, maybe down just a little hair. And I have to get directly over the camera. Yeah, that looks fairly straight. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in pretty peacock ink also. So I'm just inking it up a little bit over here. Okay. And now let's get our sentiment stamped. Well, hi, Avis. I can see that you're watching. I know you've been having some problems commenting. So if you don't comment, I'll guess it's that. And it looks like I might need to get a little more ink on Joyful and Christmas again. I just really want this to stand out. It's such a fine writing. So, nice thing about the Stamparatus is if you do need to touch it up, as long as you don't move your cardstock or your paper on the inside, you can just ink up again and put a second layer down. And there, I'm really liking that. So we'll move the Stamparatus off the way. Now, we are going to take the trees on the right, and I just kind of want to play around a little bit and get it centered up. Next will be the trees on the left, and we're just going to drop that down a little bit. Might want to go down a little lower. Okay, so from the bottom of my cardstock, well, let me make sure it's going to look good first. I always like to check before I actually start placing things on there that I have the positioning right. And we're going to drop these trees down a little lower yet. And then we're going to put our largest piece. Yep, okay. So I have the positioning. So from the bottom of the cardstock, can you see that here? No, you can't. Let me move that up. There, and we'll move it over a little. So from the bottom of the cardstock, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3 1/4 inches so that our bottom of this piece lines up 3 1/4 inches above the bottom of our designer series paper. So then I'm going to go ahead and add a little Stampin' Seal to that. We'll get our trees. The trick to using the Stampin' Seal, I don't know if you can see me here, but when I'm running my tape, is this is really strong. I go just a little ways and then I twist. Little ways and twist. Because you don't need a lot of this. It is super, super tacky. I'm going to go a little ways and just twist. And we'll run a little bit up here. And we'll run some towards the top just to keep it on securely. A little bit in the middle. So now we want to go up 1, 2, 3 1/4 inches. And I want to make sure it's going to be even along my edges of the cardstock. There we go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and burnish that a little bit with my fingers. So the second one, we want that about 3/4 inch lower. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 2 1/2 inches. Maybe we could go higher. Yeah, let's go 2 3/4 inches. I like that look better. So we're going to go up 2 3/4 inches, the bottom of this to the bottom of there. So let's add our Stampin' Seal here. Whoops. And again, I'm twisting when I lift up. It really breaks the tape off a lot easier than if you go straight and pick up. It's going to stretch and kind of mess it up a little. So always do that twisting motion with your Stampin' Seal and you should be just fine. So we'll just add these few other pieces on. Let's see, I need to go up a little higher there. A little bit in the middle, and we're ready to put this one on. So we want to go up 1, 2 3/4 inch. And I can use my grid lines on both sides to get that really straight and even. And that looks good, so I'm going to put that down. Burnish it a little bit with my hand. And now I got a little smudge down here. Whoops, but doesn't matter, it's going to get covered up anyway. So now we're going to add our largest piece here. And we want to go about a 1/2 inch. Yeah, let's go a 1/2 inch from the bottom on this one. Make sure you comment if you're here and watching while I'm live, because this card will get mailed out to whoever makes a comment. And Avis, I know you can't comment, so I'm going to count you in it anyway, honey, until you get that figured out. So, add a little bit more here. And then we'll come down. Let's get that straight. About a ½ inch from the bottom. Oh. And I went crooked, I see. Okay, I didn't burnish it on, so I was able to get that off of there. So ½ inch, making sure my edges are lined up, and there we go. And there, you can't even see my smudge now. Might have gone a little crooked here, but I can just trim that off with scissors after. And our last small piece is going to go even with the bottom here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of my Stampin' Seal on there. And that should hold it pretty good. So we'll get you lined up. And there we go. And I'm just going to take my Stampin' Up! Paper scissors, cut that little bit of an oopsie off. Now it's really nice and straight. So now that we have that done, again, I'm not adding the paint to this one. I'm just going to go ahead and add this in the center of the card. So let's get some Stampin' Seal on this piece. And we'll just run a bit around the edges. And we'll get the top. And because this is such a big piece, I'm just going to put 3 diagonal strips in the center, because we will be adding the snowman to that. Okay, and now I have to stand up so I can get this centered. And that is looking pretty good. And we'll just flip that over and just kind of burnish that in. And now for our snowman, we're going to place him on here. And I want him to sit right down here on the top of that last snowbank. So I'm going to take my dimensionals, which I just saw. Okay, goodness, where'd they go? Well, I'll use some minis this time. I think I need to clean my table off. Had everything all lined up and ready to go, but oh, here they are, right in front of my face. Okay, so we'll get some dimensionals on my snowman. I think it'll take about 6 of them. Put one in the middle. I like to give them a lot of support. And we'll get one down there. And we'll peel the backings off. I love how easy the backings come off of the dimensionals. These are so easy to use. Okay. So I'm going to place them on right about here. And there's our card. Ta-da! You want to just stamp your sentiment in. And of course, this little side fold to hold money. I'm just going to take my all-purpose glue. I'm going to add a little at this end. And a little at the bottom end. I think I can go in a little more, just to make sure it holds really good. And we're going to take that off. And we'll just take our fingers, and I'm going to hold on those glue marks for just a minute. Make sure that glue holds and catches really good. There we go. And there's our little pocket. So you could put a picture in, you could put money in. I'm going to do mine like this for my grandkids. Unfortunately, the card I give away will not have any money in it, but... Oh, Jody, hello, how are you tonight? So, here we have a nice, quick, easy card. Very minimal stamping. I'm using 2 colors of ink. I stamp my snowman in Memento Black, and then I use the pretty peacock ink, which I'm going to close up before I drop something in it. So, and then of course just some Stampin' Blends alcohol markers to color my snowman. And very quick, easy card to do. Makes a great money holder, or if you want to send a photograph, this will take a 4x6 photograph as well. On the inside, you just stick it in that little pocket. So thanks for joining me tonight. If you haven't seen my video I did yet, scroll a little bit down further on the page. I did my unboxing video for the new stuff from the Spring Mini Catalog. So make sure you stop there and comment and say hi. And thanks for watching tonight. I may not be on Saturday this week. We're going on a Christmas delivery run for our grandchildren. So that's kind of an all-day event because they live a little further apart. One's in Marquette County, one's in Houghton County, one's in Dickinson County. So, but I will be on Sunday afternoon instead this week. So I will see you again then. Oh, thanks so much, Jody. I saw that you gave a love underneath it, so. Okay, well, thanks for watching my video, and I will see you on Sunday about 1 o'clock in the afternoon for my next video tutorial. Have a good week, and get through till Friday for your weekends, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.